Welcome back, 4th grade. We've got our last multiplication video for our big digit multiplication. This method is going to be called our area method. So at the top of your paper, I want you to label it area method. Now we've learned the standard algorithm, we've done the distributive method, and this is our third way of multiplying. This is called the area method. And I'm not supposed to have favorites, but this is my favorite way of doing it. You can find your own favorite. It doesn't have to be the same as me. And I encourage you to figure out which one works better for you. But it's always good to have options. I like options. So my 4th hour is still with us. They're going to be helping us out with this video. Before we begin, I need to do some background. So we're going to take a step back. The first thing we're going to do is talk about area. What is your equation to find the area of a rectangular square? Does anyone remember that equation for the area of a rectangle or a square? Yes. I multiply. What do I multiply? Close. Who can use the math vocab for me?
You measure, not measure, you multiply the length and width.
So we do length times width. And that's important to remember because that kind of gives us a hint about what we're going to be doing here. All right, so that's going to be length times width, or width times length. Either way, your multiplication can be multiplied in multiple forms. 3 times 5 is the same as 5 times 3. So it doesn't really matter which one you call your length and which one you call your width at this point for area. Now we're going to use this to help make our multiplication easier. Same as distributive method, we're breaking it down into smaller pieces to make it easier for ourselves. So step number 1, or we're going to learn the steps. And we're going to learn the steps to solve 356 times 4. 356 times 4. So when we're doing our area method, similar to our distributive method, step number 1 is we need to write our expanded form. So write in expanded form. So for this product or question, we are going to do 300 plus 50 plus 6 times 4. So first thing we do is just set it up like that. 356 times 4. Expanded form. Once you've done that, step number 2 is to use your expanded form as the length and width of a rectangle. So we're going to use expanded form as the length and width. What do I mean by that? Well, let's start with a rectangle. And we're going to put our smaller number always on the side. That's going to be a 4. Then we're going to use the expanded form as our width. 300 plus 50 plus 6. All right, so go ahead and label your paper like this. I got to take a phone call real quick, but I want you to keep working. And when I come back, I want your boxes labeled like that. All right, so hopefully you have labeled your box and you have your smaller digit, your multiplier on the side, and your expanded form of your number on top. Notice, just like with area, we have a length times a width. Do I have any questions so far from my awesome 4th hour? No? Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to split the rectangle into place values. I know, that sounds confusing too. It always does before we look at it. But we're going to split the rectangle into place values. So in this situation, I'm going to use the same box to show you what that means. We are going to split a box by drawing a line straight down from every plus sign. So that means that this section is our hundreds, this section is our tens, and this section is going to be our ones. So all we're doing is taking our plus signs and extending it straight down to break our rectangle into 3 smaller rectangles. This is like breaking our multiplication equation into 3 smaller equations. It's going to make it a lot easier. Any questions on that so far? We still doing okay?
Yes.
Okay, so our next step, step number 4. Step number 4 is we are going to multiply the length and width of each section. All right, we're going to multiply the length and the width of each section. What that's going to look like is just like if we were solving an area equation. So for this first box, I'm going to ignore everything else in my rectangle. And I am just going to look at the 4 times 300. So I'm going to do 4 times 300. Now the easier way we figured out how to do this, I'm going to do 4 times 3. 4 times 3 gives me 12. And then I have 2 zeros. So I call this a partial product. It's not my final product, but it's part of my product. So always circle your partial product so it doesn't get mixed up and lost in this box of numbers here. So my first partial product is 1,200. Now I'm going to look just at my second area, which is 4 and 50. So I'm going to multiply 4 times 50 . 4 times 5 is 20 with 1 0. So my second partial product is 200. And my last section, I'm going to multiply 4 times 6. My ones column, 4 times 6. When I do 4 times 6, I get 24. So now I have my 3 partial products. They are part of the answer, but not the final answer. If I have 3 partial products, I want you to think about what we're going to do with those next. My 4th hour is finishing up their notes. While they're doing that and you're finishing up your notes at home, I want you to think about where are we going to go from here? How do we turn these 3 numbers into a final answer for ourselves? Well, for step number 5, we are going to add the partial products. partial products. So I'm going to take 1,200. I'm going to add 200. And the last partial product is 24. So my final answer is 4, 2, 4, 1. So our answer, using our area method, is 1,424. Now, I do not expect you to understand this like that. I do not expect you to see this video once and be able to do it. That's impossible. Even LeBron James has to practice. He doesn't come out just shooting free throws out of nowhere after not practicing ever. So the same for us. If we're gonna get better, we gotta practice. It might feel difficult at first, but that's why we have these awesome notes to follow step by step. Once you follow those steps, you should be able to figure out how to solve these. So this weekend, and while you're off on Wednesday this week, I want you practicing your own questions using our steps that we've done. When we come back on Thursday, we're gonna see how well we've practiced and if we're understanding it. Those of you at home, please watch the videos as much as you need to. You can rewind, you can pause, you can watch it 20 times if you need to. You might get annoyed with my voice by then, but you will remember how to do the steps at least. So good luck, happy practicing. I am so proud of you all so far, and I can't wait to see how you do with your multiplication. Have a great day, everyone. Fourth hour, say bye.